Well, here we are back again with some Ranger Stronghold action. We're already 1/6 of the way through the game as we're starting turn 2. This is your host, ID Jester, and we are about ready to start the German rally phase here. Interesting developments happening here, although I think I might have really screwed up for the American player. I think I was thinking that line of sight was going to be blocked, but as we remember from last episode, it's not. Says the American has made some fatal flaws in his defenses, and we will exploit them as the Germans. So rally phase, we are actually going to be rallying. We're going to take our unit here in Q8, and we are going to deploy their second line full squad there, or try to. He needs to make a task check to see if he can pass. He rolled a 10, so he does not deploy. Okay. The other thing is we have 2 squads here that we need to try to rally with our leader. The 5 gets a bonus of 1 for the building, so it's a 6. He's got to roll a 2 to rally. He does not. And the 7 gets a +1 because he's in terrain, so he goes up to an 8. He's got a +4 to the dice roll, so he needs to roll 4 or less. And he does not either, so neither one of them rally, but the leader's convincing them that they should get back in the action, so they get to lose their DM counter. Then passes over to the American player. The American player chooses to pass on all of his rally attempts, and we go to prep fire. Prep fire phase is actually the German player only gets to move 6 times. He's only going to have 6 movement phases. So being able to move and get in position is vital for the German player, but having this open line of sight with his 20 firepower, 9 minus 2 leader, he would get a TEM bonus of 1 for being higher. And since he doesn't have any other terrain bonus, he can claim the higher. So we get a +1 minus 2, so it'd be a 20 minus 1 attack. And the German player just has to try that, and even though the 10 minus 2 leader's there. Let's see what we get here. So prep fire. Alright, well, he rolls a allied sniper number, so we'll have to remember to do that here in a minute. But he rolled a 4. 4 minus 1 is 3 on the 20 column. This is going to get ugly. The 3 on the 20 column is 1 KIA. 1 KIA. This result is extremely bad for the Americans and good for the Germans, in that one unit will be eliminated and the other ones will automatically be broken. So, random selection, we need to roll a single dice for each unit, starting with the top unit. He rolls a 6. Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Nobody's going to believe I just did that. Nobody. Oh, that is just... That is, for those of you who don't know what I'm... Random selection. You roll a single dice for each person in the location, each counter in the location. And whichever unit rolls the highest gets the result of whatever you're randomly selecting. And any units that tie for the results also get it. So in this case we had one unit for random selection, so we rolled 3 dice and we rolled 3 6s, which means all 3 of the American units are eliminated, which is obviously extremely bad for the American player. That was brutal. I do feel bad because I as the American player, I moved him up there. It's hard to, it's hard to really do. I'm just feeling bad because I have to play both sides, so I have to play them equally. And when I was playing the American side, I didn't think it was an attack that they could see line of sight. And now I feel bad that I moved him up there, and that's going to change the whole scenario. I think now it's just going to be quite easy for the German player to actually win this now. But I guess we'll continue and see what happens. So prep fire. We'll put prep fire marker there. Yes, we did get the American sniper number, so we do need to finish that up. Okay, so on a 1 or 2, the American gets to strike back. He rolled a 2. Okay, so he rolled a 2. So now we're going to roll 2 dice. The colored dice is for direction. The white dice is for distance. We rolled a 2, 2, so it goes in direction 2, 1, 2 spaces. It will then go to the target location that has least amount of cover. In this case, there's 2 of them that are, it'll go to the nearest enemy unit. If there's 2 units that are tied, it would move to the unit that has the least amount of cover that it can have an effect against. And a 2 sniper is the sniper is actually going to go into the lowest TEM hex. This is woods hex, and this is open, so I guess it would move into this the clear hex, and even though it can't affect the vehicle there. So now let's see, any other prep fires? I think that was everything, so no. We'll go on to the movement phase. As a note, this vehicle in motion cannot prep fire, so you cannot prep fire a vehicle in motion. Alright, movement phase. So now the German gets to move. Oh, and this is going to be rather difficult for the Americans, but we're going to see if we can do it tough. 2 to move there. We'll go there for 3. And we will just stop in that hex. So 3 to go there. Let's see here. Alright, so this squad here will move 2 to go there, and he's going to assault move. So he will declare assault move. So the American can either choose to attack him and lose his concealment, or let him go. In this case, I think he'll let them go. Alright, the 467 has a smoke component. 467 has a smoke component, so it's going to spend 2 movement points to throw smoke into P7, or try to. He needs to roll a 1 on a 6-sided dice. He does not do it, but he does spend his 2 movement points. Bummer. It will then choose to move here for 1. Still out of line of sight, and he will stop there. The conscript unit will move or I'm sorry, the second line unit will move. He will assault move into this hex, assault move into that hex. Alright, and the leader will assault move in there. This guy will assault move in there as well. Alright, let's see what we have up here. Alright, so these guys will spend 2 to move up there. 2, 3, 4, and then this guy and the leader will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. He could get defensive fire. This guy would lose his concealment. He's more worried about this tank coming up here, I think, and shooting him into oblivion. Although, let's see, it would be a 10 half for long distance. It would be a 5 attack. 5 would be on the 4 column. It'd be -2 for non-assault move and moving in the open, +1 for the height advantage. This would be a 4 -1 attack. Or he has to wait and see if the tank comes down this way. I'm sure it's going to. Alright, he chooses not. Yeah, he'll go ahead. Might as well. He's got nothing else to do. So, yep, 10. Long distance is 5. +1 for, +1 for the non-assault move, +1 for moving out in the, or -1 for assault move, -1 for out in the open, and +1 for the height. Ends up being a 4 -1 attack. He rolls a 7, -1 is a 6. It's a normal morale check. So leader first. Leader is, actually he's going to lose his concealment. Oops, let's see here. Why is this? He would have lost his concealment when he moved out there. So normal morale checks, the leader's an 8. He rolls a 6. He's okay. Squad's a 7. Ooh. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, not good. Alright, so he's going to actually ELR. Let's see here. He's going to ELR. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, he ELR'd, and he breaks. Let's see if I've set that up about right. Yep. Okay, it's not exactly what... and let's see, he had a 4 attack there, so we actually are going to have some residual in that hex of half 4s too, so 2 firepower there. Okay, so these can be deleted. Alright, so everybody except for the vehicles have moved. Alright, so vehicle is going to start for 1, move there for 2, move there for 3, move there for 4, move there for 5. He's going to stop for 6. He's going to delay for 7. Delay for 8. Of course, as he's doing this, he's giving the American ample opportunity to jump in anytime to say, alright, I'm going to shoot. Delay for 9. Delay for 10. Delay for 11. So the American finally decides he's got to shoot. He's got to try something. I mean, it's only a 4 hexes away. It's going to be a 4. -2 because this guy's still. So I mean, he needs a 2. So it's not going to get any better than that. So we'll see if he gets it. If he doesn't. These guys should have been marked with a whatcha-diggy. Where are they? Huh. I don't have any yet. Clone. Alright, so now he's marked. He would have been marked with the first fire when he shot up there. Yeah. That would have changed how he could do things, wouldn't it have? Let me see. Yeah, with him first fired up here, it would have really hampered his ability to shoot at the tank. So we'll just he missed anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But have to think about that. Plus, he loses his concealment counter when he did that too. Trying to keep track of everything here. All right, keep on the ball. Well, the German tank is delay, 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 delay. And now he's going to take a shot with his 75L into those bushes back there. 2 for being a moving vehicle, and even though he stopped, he's still considered a moving vehicle until the end of his turn. So 2 for that. 2 for case B, 1 for being buttoned up. It's a good thing he was buttoned up. If he wasn't buttoned up, his crew would have been blasted with the sniper there. I'd even thought about maybe just risking that earlier, and I forgot to say something, but it's a good thing I didn't, because that sniper would have came right on his head there. And 1 for that, so we're 5. We're looking at +6. It's going to need something pretty low here. He rolled a 10, so nope. He'll take his machine guns. 8. Half firepower for moving is 4, +1 for the woods, so it's a 4 +1 attack. 9 +1 is 10. On the 4 column is absolutely nothing. So he's done. He stopped again. These guys done, done, done. So the last thing we have to worry about is this guy down here. Oh. Alright, so this guy spends 1 movement point to stop. When he spends that movement point, the American then can declare defensive fire, which he is going to do. He's going to take another shot with the bazooka. Hopefully he gets low enough that he can hit the tank. And here is our die roll. He rolled a 7. This guy was already in motion, so he's considered a moving target, so that's +2. I think he, in the back of this counter, 3 hexes away, was a 7. But because he is in motion, that is going to be, even though he's stopped his vehicle, he's still considered in motion. So that'll be a miss. This guy will then shoot his 75L back at him. So +5, +6 again. He rolls an 8. That's nothing. The American would then get a first fire counter on him. He's going to have to hit that tank next time. Okay, I believe that is everything for movements. So we go on to defensive fire phase. Defensive fire phase, we have these guys on the hill. Still can't see anybody. I guess that was not that good a spot. I guess it is. Well, actually, they do see these guys over here. I was looking to see if they could shoot out somebody else, but so anyways, they have 11 firepower. 11 firepower on these guys here. That's a 10 shot. Straight, no bonuses, no leader bonus, no penalties. So 10 straight is a 9. On the 8 column is a pin task check. So this guy is a 7. He rolls a 3, so he's fine. He did not get rate of fire. So he's done with his attack. Let me just clone a few more of these things here. Alright. So he's fired. He can't fire at anybody. He can't fire at anybody. The other guys got wiped out. Unbelievable. So they're done. Advancing fire. Alright, so we have 8 firepower here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 firepower halved is 4. Plus 1 for shooting through the vehicle. Plus 1 for the woods. Minus 1 for the leader. It's going to be an 8. 4 plus 1 attack. 4 plus 1. I rolled a 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. On the 4 column is a 1 MC. 1 MC. First half squad is a 7. Let's put that in here. 1 MC. So I know where we're looking at here. 1 MC. He rolls a 9 plus 1 is 10, so he breaks. 747. He rolled a 10 plus 1 is 11. He breaks. Wow. That is that's pretty much, I think, the game at this point. I think the Americans would concede at least this part of it. He lost his big stack of units. He lost his good leader, 3 units there. He's got 2 units that are broken here with no leader around to rally him. This tank will just sit here and mow these guys down. In fact, it might just roll right up next to them and get some point blank attacks on them. And if they don't rally, they won't get a chance to rally. These guys will when they rout, they could go into this hex here, but they would be interdicted. Yeah, it's looking very grim for the Americans. Very, very, very grim. He does have pretty good firepower here, but I think that just thinking and comparing here, see what we got. He's got plenty of units to break these guys off. The question is, can he get by these guys here? These guys could move. Well, let's finish this phase, or finish this turn at least, and see what happens. Any other advancing fire? Nope. Routes. Attacker first. So this guy will route back into the little cubby hole here. This guy will go with him. That guy's okay. These guys are all okay. He should have lost their CX counter. I think everybody else is okay. Okay. So now the defender routes. Well, he's got these guys down here. Now the question is, if he stays there, if he low crawls there, it's not going to do him any good because the tank will just drive over him here in a minute. If he tries to route back to L10 or M9, actually M9 will work. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He could get interdicted in N9, but not by the tank. I think it's out of line of sight for the tank because it just clips that little bit of the hill, and it might be out of line of sight for that guy too. So he might be able to enter. He might be able to route to M9. If he does that, then he doesn't need to be interdicted, and then he's got a location. Though he's got no leader, the leader could try to come down here to help him, but well, let's see what happens. All right, they will move into that hex. Wait a minute, they can't go any closer. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's not any. Oops, undo. Can't go any nearer to a known enemy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's not any nearer. So they can go there. Now we need to see if anybody has. Nope. Both the tank and the units lose line of sight to that unit there. And then they move into that building there. Alright, anybody else? Nope, I think that's it. Okay. So that is the route phase. Advanced phase. Let's see. These guys... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They will go ahead and advance into that hex. I know it's out in the open, but every movement point they can save. This guy will advance there. These guys, oops, get off of there. These guys will advance here. Now comes trouble for the for the Americans again. Move these guys. They'll advance. They'll advance. They'll advance. Okay. So that's the advance phase. This guy will have a few targets to shoot at, but he'll have a single target here or a single target there, but it's not going to have. It's not going to have a whole bunch of great, unless you can just use that medium machine gun and just shoot like 5 people. Problem is with the medium machine gun is you need to have a covering arc, and it needs to stay on that covering arc. So that's going to be tough. It's gonna be tough. All right, so we'll take that off of there. Just trying to clean everything up here. So. Alright, so that's the advanced phase. Close combat, not yet. And the German phase has been complete. Just like I said, the Americans have been taught a lesson for their infidel ways and will be treated with no quarter. Unfortunately, here's what I think I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'll probably make a decision on whether or not continue this video series just because it looks very difficult for the American player here with all those losses it's sustained, and see if anybody has any thoughts on whether or not the American player should continue fighting, continue pressing on. It will be his turn. He'll get to try to rally one of these guys for free. Then he can try to move these guys. Maybe try to get them around the corner here. Get them on a line of sight. These are going to be. This last hope is this area. But as soon as he moves anywhere adjacent, because he'll be on the edge there, he'll be on the edge here, he'll be on the edge here. As soon as he moves, he's going to be toasted. So he can either just sit tight. If he sits tight, then these guys over here will have to rally by themselves, one at a time, every one per turn. The heck is this? I don't need that in there. Which will be very hard for them to do. If he makes a break for it, if he can make it through this hex and move on, he will be hidden from view. So he can 1, 2, 3, 4. He could make it into that hex. Which actually might not be a bad thing, but he'd have to withstand 2 different attacks because he's going to spend 2 movement points to get up that hill. And he would have, let's see, what kind of attack? 4, 8, 12, 13, 15. A fire group of 15 shooting at him twice, and a fire group of 7 shooting at him twice. Or not a fire group, but a squadron of machine gun firing at him twice. The second attack will be half firepower because it'll be area firepower, but still. Interesting development. It just shows you in ASL that you, no matter if you're winning or losing, things can turn at a moment's notice. One good sniper shot. Like I said, I had considered having my putting my crew exposed here for these tanks, so I can get the road movement bonus, get moving around on these roads. And so I thought about doing that, but if I would have done that, then that sniper could have got that crew that was exposed. So, good thing I didn't do that as the German player. Guess I didn't need to extra risk involved, I guess is why I decided not to. It was risky, and as a German player, you don't need to really take risks. The American player needs to take risks, and kind of at this point, his risks has backfired horribly on him. So we'll have to decide what we're going to do. Almost like I said, I feel bad that I moved the American player into that position, which costs him basically the game when that huge squad attacked him. But I didn't think it could see one another, and I thought it was going to have a good position to cover over there. Instead of moving him into that hex, I probably should have just moved him back into this hex. But as the problem is, then you lose all your attack power over that way. So it's just line of sight is a little bit hard on this issue-wise. I still just can't believe that just makes that. Barely makes it. I mean, you couldn't tell that unless you draw a line. But it did. And since in ASL you cannot check line of sight before you make an attack, you just have to eyeball it the best you can. So I guess sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you. I think at this point, like I said, I feel bad for the Americans because I made that move as the American player, not to help the Germans, obviously, but because I thought it was a good proposition to be in a good spot. His tank was headed over this way. Two squads were up over there. So as soon as, if there is no line of sight there, then as soon as his squads move out there, I start defensive firing, putting residual there, which blocks him off. If he brings his tank out there, his tank was originally here, so as soon as he brings his tank out there, actually, let's see here. Let's just check to make sure we have line of sight there. Yep, clear line of sight. So as soon as he brings his tank out there, it's 1, 2, 3 hexes away. We could either take a shot there. I think best option was to take a shot there because he moved there. And I guess it would still be 3 hexes away there. But then all of a sudden he's got to stop because if he goes here, it's only 2 hexes away. He's not going to want to do that. So we can kind of hem in his tank here. We can hem in his infantry there. So that was a very good spot, I thought. But just having to resist that huge firepower of 20, it's just 4, 5, 4, 3, 4. It's 20 firepower. And he's got the 9-2 leader. I mean, that's just good positioning by the German player. Good setup and good positioning, to have his 9-2 leader in with all that stuff. Get him into a good position. So, I mean, you got to give the German player some credit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, there was. I thought that was going to be a really good spot for the Americans. I just couldn't believe that was going to clear line a shot. So I feel bad that it ended up being such a costly maneuver. And the thing was, it was going to be costly because he ended up rolling a kill result. But then when you do a random selection and you end up rolling a 6, a 6, and a 6. That's like the worst Yahtzee roll you could possibly get for the Americans. So it just went from bad to worse as soon as that happened. Well, I think I'll bring this video to a close. And if you have any thoughts or comments about the series, I might actually like to try another scenario. Maybe something with a little bit flatter terrain. I think I spent a lot of time trying to figure out who's in line of sight with one another on these. Maybe once I get a few of these scenarios under my belt, it might be a little easier to do. I'd like to hear some information about whether you would rather have it just be played out, or if you like to have the rules incorporated into it that we're dealing with, or if you liked having things explained or not explained. I'm not sure the people that are actually watching this series, I'm not sure if it's people that are familiar with ASL and just want to watch and see what happened, or if it's newer people that want to see how to play. So I don't know the best process just because I haven't got a lot of feedback yet. So please, I'm asking you. I posted these videos on the Board Game Geek under the Advanced Squad Leader system. So please post there and let me know what you think of whether or not we should play this series, continue this series from this point, or if we should start a new series. And also find out what you're looking for if I was to do video tutorial, or I should say if I'm doing a video scenario replay. Are you looking for more of along the lines of just watching the game progress? If you're looking for rules, are you looking for help in different aspects on things? I'm not sure what exactly I should focus in on. If I should go slower and explain things, or if I should go faster and keep more things going. I'm just playing this by ear until I figure out, and the only way for me to figure this out is if you post and let me know. So please do. I hope you watched this video. I hope it was entertaining. Unfortunately, it looks like the German juggernaut has succeeded. I think it's going to come to a climax actually on turn 2. I might continue it based on people's votes, but it looks very grim at this point for the American. But I'll wait to hear and see what people think. So thanks for tuning in to the Ranger Stronghold. Unfortunately, the Ranger Stronghold wasn't that strong, but maybe next time it will be. Well, until then, take care. Have fun playing some ASL. This is IT Jester, signing off.